You have found what lights you up. I'm your host, Sunny the Life Coach, and I'm here because I see you searching for something or someone out there to help you feel better. Something to take away the pain that you're feeling, the inadequacies. I know all of the things that happen in life can leave you feeling empty. Your search is over. This podcast is all about finding your own freedom and power to love yourself enough to shine in the ways you were always meant to, the ways in which you are already fully capable of. If you're ready for some real talk, some serious truth bombs, and a few F-bombs, you are in the right place. Let's do this. Let's get lit. Hey there and welcome. I am so very appreciative that you are joining me for this episode today. I am coming to you from the surface of the sun near Dallas, Texas today. My God. Look, I know the whole world is on fire right now. All I'm saying is that national news for the U.S. tends to migrate to Dallas. That's where all of the reporters are coming to you live. This hotspot right here, right in that area between Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, we are setting records on the daily. The thing is, we have been here since May. We have been setting records here since May. The rest of you all are just catching up and getting a taste. So welcome to my hell. But listen, I get it, especially for those of you in Europe who don't have air conditioning because you've never actually needed it. I'm sending you love, light, and all of the high vibes that we have some relief very soon. I truly am. Please take care of yourselves. Okay, on to the topic. I'll be honest, as usual, and share that a few hours ago I wasn't sure what I wanted to talk about this week. Might have heard that before if you're a returning listener. It's become a recurring theme that I have a lot of balls in the air or irons in the fire or whatever the saying might be these days. That's for all of us. And there's just a lot going on in the world around us for sure. Massive heat waves aside. Then I'm sitting with this saying, okay, what's going to be my topic this week? And the universe in its infinite wisdom sent me a little dose of inspiration in the form of a Facebook memory. Because that's what I do. I just scroll Facebook for inspo. I mean, come on, right? I'm not Instagram, Facebook. Sorry, that's just my thing. It's this amazing little 35-second video of our son dancing when he was 5 years old. Not a care in the world. Now, parents, we have these videos, right? We might have a whole freaking library of these videos that we never even revisit unless we are reminded by an algorithm to do that. Some of us might. Well, that algorithm worked in my favor today, for sure. I love that video. It's been a long time since I watched it, and today I really saw it. I actually ended up posting it in my Facebook group, What Lights You Up, also of the same name. If you want to see it, see the video that I'm talking about, come on over and join us. We are having some real and raw conversations about the exact topics that I am talking about here. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that one right at the beginning instead of waiting until the end because it's only been up for a couple of weeks. It's already starting to grow quite well. I have members I don't even know. Maybe that's you. It's a beautiful thing all around. I kind of wish I had started an interactive community sooner, but here we are. That's all that matters. Here we fucking are. Anyway, this video. Let me describe it to you in case you are not yet a member of the group or you don't use Facebook at all or whatever your reasons may be. It's all good. So this video memory, when I posted in the group, I included a little blurb along the lines of, please read the intro. Please read this intro that I'm writing in the character Sophia's voice from the Golden Girls. Picture it, Lake Tahoe, 2014, visiting family in the Bay Area. I was 5 years old, and I found this amazing amphitheater. Just empty. And of course, just seeing that little clip took me back. And my sister-in-law has suggested that we take a day trip to Lake Tahoe and have dinner there. It was a fantastic experience, really, albeit crowded. It was very crowded that day since it was summertime. But, this came from a Facebook memory after all, so that's how I know. It was around this time, 8 years ago, that we had that visit. I've been seeing all kinds of memories pop up of that trip. It's just that the video today hit me some kind of way. And here's how it happened. We were exploring, of course, walking trails, seeing the sights, checking out the gift shops, and oh, look, a stage. It's right there in the open air. Beautiful, majestic views of mountains in the background. It was just so awesome and completely empty. So Connor says, "Get your phones out. I'm going to perform for you. Play Smooth Criminal." Well, okay then. Let's do this right here, right now. Now, we didn't have any Bluetooth speakers or anything like that on us, of course, so we all had to take front row seats in order to get the full effect. But I have to say, you all, it was everything. Just watching him get his groove on as an incoming first grader with that backdrop, I thought, well, what an amazing life this is. Right here, right now, for all of us. And I think what really struck me about that particular memory today and what I shared in the group is that magic is gone. He does not spontaneously perform anymore. And to even ask him to pose for anything will get you an eye roll. He is a full-blown teenager now. And one of the group members asked when it ended. And I had to think about it. I think it was around 4th grade that he really started to shed his own persona and start to, I guess, fall in line, as the saying goes. This is a kid who used to wear a button-down shirt and tie and had to have his pants pressed for school pictures because he wanted to look professional. He did not care if he was the only kid dressed that way because he was going to be the CEO of his own company someday, where all meetings would be banned, all pets were welcome, and it would have a helipad for him and a wine bar for Mommy. Oh boy. And I think about when that ended, it was probably around 3rd or 4th grade. He stopped dressing up for picture day. He stopped being loud and obnoxious. Well, not for his teachers, apparently. Now I have to beg for any kind of picture. And he never performs unless he is with a band playing tuba of all things, and I can't even see him on stage behind that huge instrument. Fellow tuba moms, I am with you in solidarity. I don't even bother to try to capture performances anymore because there's nothing to capture of him until the final bow. Anyway, seeing that video, sharing it, and getting that question of when did it stop really got me thinking. When does it stop? When did the world tell you to tone it down? Because no one in this house ever told that boy to tone it down. But that's not enough when he spends the bulk of his day with his peers in school. And it's only going to get amplified. I know it because I've lived it. His dad has lived it. You have lived it. You already know. It's very difficult to witness, I'm not going to lie, because you know what comes next. The world is going to try to crush him, just as it has done to all of us. But Here's the thing that truly fascinates me. We don't question it. We go right along with it. So many of us do. Most of us do. The few among us who really step into their own power are, well, we are sometimes hard to find, aren't we? As difficult as it is to witness my teenage boy having his personality, his light, dimmed right before my eyes, it's just about as difficult to find the unicorns out there who are stepping back into it and are ready, willing, and able to guide you to do the same. And that is exactly why I am here. So I ask you, when did the world convince you to tone it down? You're probably not going to be able to come up with one scenario, although you might. For most of it, it has been a slow transition. A slow burn, if you will. And it happens so slowly that those around you may not even be able to see it clearly. I couldn't see it with Connor, not in the moment. When I really started to see it is when the memories started to show up in my feed, right? And that part didn't take me 8 years, by the way. I've seen the progression. I just didn't see this one so clearly until this morning. But I would have to say that being in middle school is definitely an awakening. I don't have those memories to look back on. Those kind of memories are not going to pop up into my Facebook feed. In fact, there is not a single video of me as a child, not one. If you are a childhood friend listening to this and you have proof otherwise because your parents could afford a video camera back in the day, this is an invitation to prove me wrong. Seriously. It's not exactly a bad thing to have grown up outside of the digital age. That is for sure. Right on the fringe. But can you think of just a few of the things along the way on this journey that is your life that have led to a shift or a change in who you are in order to be accepted? Oh, I'll bet you can. I could think of a million different ways if I took the time. Yet, it is my humble opinion, what is more important for us grown folk is to recognize not just when it happened, but that it even exists in the first place. I mean, how often do you ask yourself, why did I just do that? Why did I just say that? Why am I wondering if what I'm wearing is acceptable? Now, that last part, if it's your workplace, you may have a dress code, and that is what it is if you choose to work for a corporation or any entity that has a dress code. But if you're asking yourself, will my friends like this? Will they like this version of me? I encourage you to pause and get curious about why you are asking yourself that question in that moment. Because you already know what I'm going to say here. If you know me or have been listening for a while, you don't get to decide what anyone else thinks of you. You don't get to manipulate their opinions. You don't get to craft what they like or dislike about anything you do or say or even create. Oh, here's a perfect example of that very thing in action. It happened to me at the flower shop last week. A customer described this custom arrangement that she wanted to send to her friend, and she said, no less than 3 times, mind you, when she placed the order, she said many times, I want her to call me and say, where did you get those flowers? They are gorgeous. And I took down every word she said, and I took the extra step of walking it back and having a conversation with a designer that I just knew would blow her away. And the arrangement was everything. I even took pictures and I sent them to be posted on the shop's Facebook page, their public page. They were that freaking gorgeous. Well, hours later, the woman calls back and said, My friend didn't say what I wanted her to. I think she thought it was just okay. Just being honest here, I had to explain to her that everyone else who saw that arrangement thought it was absolute perfection, and that I was sorry her friend didn't think the same. But, and I have to be very careful here, because my role at the florist is not to coach humans on how to human. But it wasn't for lack of trying that arrangement did not meet expectations. And she thanked me, and she understood what I was saying, and she didn't ask for anything more. And I did not relay this to the designer. So, I'm hoping she doesn't listen to this one. I did not relay that to the designer because she didn't need to hear that. She just didn't. She was very proud of her design, and everyone else thought it was amazing. And if the recipient didn't say the quote-unquote right words, that means nothing about her work. It just doesn't. But we don't tend to do that as humans. We want to share. We want to help, even when it's not helpful. And we tend to model this for our children, and then they take it to school and tell all their friends how to behave, and their friends take it to the local playground and tell their friends how to behave, and on and on and on. Not just how to behave, but what to think and how to feel. Like that lady with the flower arrangement. I was truly floored that she called back to tell us that her friend didn't say the right words. And the implication there was that we didn't do something right. Phew! No, I do not want that designer to tone it down. I need her to create big and showy things that many people love, so I will say nothing. Because I know that even in adulthood, especially if your work is in the business of creating anything, the opinions about that will vary as much as the people who consume your work. If your business is performing, there will always be a critic in that audience. Yes, it's true that if you're not cut out for constructive criticism, perhaps you should find another line of work. I don't disagree with that. But so many of us are criticized for simply showing up as who we really are that we shut it down. Then we can't hardly find ourselves again. And that is the real tragedy. It's so very unnecessary. As Rumi says, the heart is your student, for love is the only way we learn. Yes, I have been a student of Earth School for a few decades now, or several. I can honestly say that I have learned far more about humans from observation and conversation and story sharing than I ever did from a traditional classroom setting. That's why I'm not all that concerned about the boy's grades. I will not push academics on him. It is not his thing. I also disagree with the value placed on academics in our society, but that is a topic for another day. I just miss the gregarious personality he had when he was younger. Then I remembered that I think maybe I had a little bit of that in me too, at one time. I also want you to think about the stories I have shared here today, and again, simply get curious about how this applies to your life. Whatever has been ingrained in you, regardless of where it originated, was at least initially designed to put you in your place and keep you there. Well, the world is burning, literally burning right now. I don't know how much time we have left here. No one does. I'm just of the position at this point in time that I am no longer willing to play small or stay small. I am no longer willing to perform to the expectations of others. I am here to be of service, but I have no power over your happiness. You have that power, only you. If you would like me to help guide you to it, I'm all about it. Today, I'm going to drop my full library of links for you. Don't worry, it's not as extensive as it sounds. I have finally updated it. That's all it means. I do invite you to join me next week for the Emotional Freedom Experience. It is 5 days. Calls are on Zoom at 6 p.m. Central each day. I will be covering topics just like this one right here, yet I will be live and it will be interactive. However, you have to sign up to gain access. Even if you're already in the Facebook group, I still need you to sign up so I can send you recordings for any days you may not be able to attend. Check the link in comments or join the Facebook group, my friends. I cannot wait to see your faces next week. Light up, shine on.